Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. It's been a couple weeks since we've had coffee, and I've had withdrawals. I was so glad to have coffee. I don't know, like a little morning chit-chats and whatnot. And I'm already on my second pot of coffee this morning because it's late morning. Because I've been up doing this, that, and the other thing because it's a gorgeous fall day, November day. Love the weather. So I think this is my record for putting away my Halloween decorations and costumes and stuff. I can't believe it. Usually, because I hate doing it. I love getting it out and I love decorating. And I love putting the stuff outside and all that good stuff. But I hate putting it away. I guess who does likes to put it away? Just like Christmas. Any of the holidays, it's fun to do all the decorating, but nobody likes to put that stuff away. So anywho, I got it all put away. Record time. My husband has the totes over and purging. Remember, I did all my costumes and got that all organized down to 4 tubs, which I loved. And when I put my Halloween decorations away, I got it down to 2 outside tubs, 2 basement zippy bar tubs, and then 1 for upstairs for kitchen, living room, and bathroom. So I'm down to 5 decorating tubs, which you're like, that's a lot of tubs. I had double that. I got rid of some stuff that was broken, wasn't any good. Kind of went through stuff. My youngest son, Seth, lives at home, and said, you know, does this have memories for you, or does this bring back, you know, any heart pangs or whatever, however you say it. And he's really good. He goes, no, I'd get rid of that. I don't care about that. Or, oh, I remember that when I was so, and even like, I have a whole bag of dog costumes from back when our first puppy dog was Jasmine, and when the kids were littler, she would dress up with the boys and walk around just to the close neighbors with the boys, go trick-or-treat. And so we kept a couple of her outfits. My dogs that I have now, which are in the room with me. Oh, they're kind of quiet. Didn't ever go trick-or-treat with the boys. The boys were too old time they came along, and they didn't do that type of stuff or dressed up, and I put them on and they don't like it anyway. So I got rid of all the things that didn't have any memories or meaning or whatever to us. So those tubs are back. I have one of my costume tubs left here because me and my cousin are trying to figure out which German bar girl, whatever costumes that we're going to take down to Viva Las Vegas. If we do, we haven't quite decided, so I kept a couple of those out before the costume tubs go over. Lord help me. And I have 1 tub that is Thanksgiving that I have to bring up and do I have a cornucopia and some cute little things, and I used to do ceramics big time for a number of years, and I have so much stuff that I powered house that stuff. I'd sit there and, you know, ladies would do 1 or 2 little things, and it was more of a coffee clutch, and you'd sit and visit and have coffee and talk and whatever for a few hours once a week. Well, I was assembly line. That's the way I am about everything, I guess. So I have like tons and tons of stuff, a bunch of stuff. I didn't even have all of my original stuff. A lot of it I left with the boys' father. And took just half of it. I kind of divvied up, so they had some of the memory stuff down there, and when we moved out, I have some up here. So I have tons of that type of stuff. So I got to get that out. I'll probably go through my Thanksgiving tub also and purge that. So hope everybody's had a good couple weeks. All my little prize giveaway things are all finished. I have 1 more lady that I'm waiting to hear back from to see if she got her. She was one of the big Hearth and Home prize winners with the mixing bowl set and the whole works. Waiting to hear from her. She lives in California, so it might take a few more days to get that there. The lady from Ohio. They get her, so that was really nice. And I think she said she already made the cake and had her mom and sister something over, which is so sweet. That was so nice, because that was kind of the whole premise of the whole thing, was family and gathering and getting together and sharing. So anyway, that's all done. So I'm just like, now what am I gonna do? I always like to keep busy doing something, or have a project or something else going on, or something to do. So I think we can do a couple little helpful hint or tutorial videos or something like that for gals who are doing vintage hair or vintage things. I did one little video that was products you need and products you use, and I found this really neat organizer for all that, because, you know, you have your brush rollers, and you have your, I'm looking at it, foam rollers, and you have your pin curl clips and your bobby pins and your setting lotions, and what else do I have in there, and miscellaneous, oh Lord. So you have all this stuff, and I was keeping it here, there, and everywhere, and it was like, oh, driving me crazy, because that wasn't easy accessible, and it wasn't convenient, I guess. That's what I'm looking for. So I got this organizer off of eBay, and you can find them all over the place, but I really like this one, so I'm going to have a little video about that for anybody interested. You can use it for other organizational things, not only vintage hair stuff. And what else do I got going on today? Not much. It's Sunday. I have one more Saturday. My whole schedule's kind of thrown off because I've been driving my son to classes on Saturday morning, and he has got one left, and then after that I can get back to kind of like a routine of things to do. I feel more organized that way. Get back to morning coffees on a Saturday like I do. Oh, I just felt something just go on me. And I just got my hair cut. I go uptown to, oh Lord, and I keep forgetting the name of the shop I go to. I think it's not Simply Pure either, Lord. Anyway, Jessie cuts my hair. She does a fantastic job, but you know, after you get your hair cut, the first few times that you style or do whatever, it's just like a whole new head of hair, and what do I do? And it doesn't, because you kind of get used to when it's growing out, kind of restyle it and whatever, and then you get it cut, it's like, oh, it's all fresh hair, and it doesn't roll exactly the way I want it to. It will. I'm just not used to it being short again. I had her cut off about an inch or inch and a half all over. It's getting too long, and I used to be a long-haired girl. I always used to have really long hair, but I just, gosh, when was it? Maybe 4 years ago, and it was just not, it went from like, I think I cut like 6 inches off or so, and just to do it, just cut it. I, of course, did the 80s curly-haired bob, which looked horrendously awful on me, oh Lord. But I did a stylish short do, which I liked. You know, it was kind of like the shingled back cut and stuff, and that was kind of fun. And then a few years, of course, I got into the vintage hair, so you have to have a special cut, and it's called a midi cut for that. And when they layer hair, you know, they kind of like texturize it and layer it. Well, you can't have that for when you're doing vintage hair, because it would be a beast to roll it up if you had, so you have to have even layers. So the layers are, start at the kind of the right above the nape of my neck is where my first layer is, and they're rounded layers. So I have like 3 or 4 rounded layers like this, and they have to be all even. They can't be texturized or blended in, otherwise when you're rolling your rollers up, oh Lord, it's not fun because you're popping out and sticking out, and oh, bad language goes on doing it. So it's called a midi cut, and they had like the short midi, the medium midi, the long midi, and that was kind of the name of the haircuts back in the days. I think the midi, the first place that I had seen that terminology we used was maybe in the 30s at some point. Before that, you know, up to the early 1900s, it was long set hair, and it was rag rolls and this and that. And then the roaring 20s came, and people had the short hair bobs and did all kinds of things with their hair. So anyway, got my haircut, and it's time for a hair dye. And oh, I don't have it in here with me. And I had one before, and they're hard to find, but it's called, and it's not vegan or cruelty free. I wish I could find that, but I don't think I'm gonna. Just same with the hair dyes, you cannot find. There are vegan and cruelty free hair dyes out there, but they're hennas. And my sister, who's a beautician, and the lady Jessie, who cuts my hair, not lady, she's a girl, young lady, she's in her 20s, said don't use henna because that stuff is awful. It is awful on your hair, and you have to grow it out, and you can't get it out. And my sister said, don't do it. And if you try to like color, so henna is natural and it is cruelty free, but oh, you're gonna have a big old mess. So, and there are some temporary hair dyes that are cruelty free too, but I have a habit of, I get like hot in my neck at night and sweat a little bit on my neck, and all over my pillowcase. Oh Lord, on my vintage pillowcase. Oh Lord. So I feel kind of bad about it, but I try to be cruelty free with what I can, where I can. Anyway, so as you ladies know, or girls, because I started going gray in my early 30s. I've been dyeing my hair since my 30s. When it grows out a little bit, then you get these, and I was on one of my Halloween videos where I was dressed up as a witch. You could see all these little gray foofy hairs that were all poking out because I had my hair pulled back and didn't plaster down. Oh my god. It was just like, it kind of went with the costume, I guess. So anywho, what are they talking about? Hair mascara. It looks like a tube of mascara, and it comes in different ranges of colors, from anything from blonde to jet black hair. And so when you have that little bit of grow out here for these little stragglers, or if you part your hair like I do, and you have that part, you can take that mascara and go down the part of the mascara, and it blends in and temporarily covers it up until you get your next dye job in, and I'm trying to stretch it. I need one now because I want it to look nice for the, you know, for Thanksgiving and stuff. So I'll wait another week before I get that done. So it's just kind of like lady stuff, I guess. I'm doing is just haircuts and taking care of my hair, and I'll be decorating for Thanksgiving and doing that. And I don't know if you guys ever heard me talk about, I get these subscription boxes. And if you go on YouTube, it's like subscription box land. There is hundreds of different subscription boxes, from everything from beauty products to food to, I think, video game things, to Walmart puts one out, Target puts one out. I belong to two, and they're anywhere from, I think there's a $5 one. I'm not sure, that Walmart maybe, or maybe there's 10. But it's like, I get one's called Ipsy, and that is $10 a month. And I'm going to do, there's some people who do the little tutorials about Ipsy bags and Birchbox boxes, and I'm not going to get onto that. I just watch everybody else's. But anyway, so anywho, what are you talking about? I'll tell you. In my little, so I get an Ipsy bag, which is $10 a month, and you get a little cosmetic bag, and you usually get anywhere from 4 to 5 different beauty products, and it can be anywhere from makeup to, depending on what you signed up for, or shampoo, conditioners, creams. You might get tweezers, you might get a makeup brush. That's a little Ipsy bag, and that's $10, and that includes the shipping and handling, the bag, and all the little products. Sometimes you get full-size products. I'm trying to see if I got anything. Sometimes, like, oh, I think I've gotten this in my Ipsy bag, or it might have been my other one too. But you might get a little nail polish, or you might get a full size. This was out of my other box. A full size nail polish, or the same with the makeup. And you get like little toners and washes. And so in this month's Petit Voir box, which is a cruelty-free box, the Ipsy bag doesn't state that it's cruelty-free, but 99% of everything there is cruelty-free and some vegan. And the Petit Voir is vegan and cruelty-free. Lord, spit it out. So in it, this month, I got this little, and I'm not a fancy schmancy oil expensive thing girl, but it's nice to get these high-end stuff like this. It was a Petit Voir bag box that I got this nail polish. Got that, and I pay $15 a month for that one. And it comes in a cute little box with no little makeup bag, but you get a whole bunch of, and it's usually high-end stuff. And the other one you can get high-end stuff too. But this, I got in my box, and I paid $15.99. I got this and 4 other products, and this is $18. This retails for $18. It's high-end. So you get your money's worth and then some. But you know, the companies do that because they're advertising. They want people to buy the boxes. So, Lord, sorry. So I got this, and it's called Essence of Valley, I think, or Valley. Sleep Bedtime Ritual. It comes in this little teeny card, and it was just a little itty bitty vial that you got with it. Just an itty bitty vial. And it contains and has lavender and cedarwood and marjoram and all these nice smelling things. And you put a couple drops of this on your, and you can wear it on your wrists, and you can wear it as a perfume too. But to help you sleep and soothe, you know, it's all about kind of aromatherapy. Put it on your pillowcase. I think it's got a little cedar or something in it too. Some things I've never heard of in petals, and it does. I put it on my pillow, and I have an awful time sleeping. And I got melatonin and other stuff, and I take it for 2 nights, and then I just don't mess with stuff. This stuff was lovely. I put it on my little pillowcase, and it's all psychological and it's soothing, but you know, candles burning soothe you, or relaxing music soothes you. So it's on that order of that. It's just a soothing product, and you put it on there, and it's not like a overwhelming smelly smell, like, oh Lord, she's got too much perfume on smell, or like, or what is that smell? It's just a light kind of, not a distant, because it's right on your thing, but it's not overwhelming, and it's not like, oh Lord, I have to get away from that section of the pillowcase. So you just put a couple drops. It's very relaxing and calming, and I loved it. I went online and I purchased the whole thing. So this came in, it was just a little sample. So this is enough to use it for a week. And then I got the larger size, and it was like $18, which is weird, but that will probably last me a couple months. And for a little bit nicer sleep, what the heck? At this time in my life, if I want a little treat, I want a little treat myself. So that's the premise of these subscription boxes, is that you get samples, and they're hoping, the companies are hoping that you like their products, and that you'll go online to either the box company that you purchased it from, or bag company, or you go onto their site, and purchase the products, because sometimes they'll have like little coupon cards, and if you go to their site and purchase this, so it's a win-win situation for the person getting the box, and I suppose the subscription company, they get their little percentage or portion of the profits, and then of course the company, and it might be a small company. Some of them are handwritten labels and stuff, so they're just up and coming companies, and they're not very big, so that's kind of nice too. It's a little PR for them, so I love them. So I got my little thing coming in the mail, and I'll be using it. It's that time of year you kind of want to get all snuggled, and I got my little vintage pillowcases, and I found a pair. How did I luck out and get these? And I don't know if I did it one of my quarterly hauls, but my maiden name was Zettner. It was Mary Zettner. So I found these vintage heavy white linen pillowcases that had embroidered, you know, pretty flowers and stuff on them, embroidered MZ. I snarfed them up, and I think I got the pillowcases for like 12 bucks or 15. That was the pillowcases and shipping handling, and they're really heavy cotton muslin. That's why they're still lasting, because they're made well. So I got those. So I like to have sleep nice. Remember I told you, get your nice sheets, take care of yourself, because you sleep better. And it's all about, we need a good night's sleep. And a little bit of coffee. So anyway, my second pot of coffee, so this was strong. I had to cut it with some milk because it was only half done brewing. Oh Lord, it was like espresso or something. So it's like half milk, half coffee. So, Thanksgiving will be a few weeks away, hunting season. It was already bow opener, you know, bow and arrow opener around the area. So people are already getting their deer, and I know people are like, oh, how can people hunt those animals and da-da-da, but they have to, because if the hunters weren't allowed to hunt, and if you lived in this area, you know that there's deer all over. The deer would be overpopulated because there's only so much deer food or, you know, habitat around, and you have to keep the population, otherwise they starve, or they're out in the roads, you know, looking for food on the edges of the roads or crossing the roads or whatever, and then they get hit and smucked by cars, and then that's not good either. So hunting is a good thing, and man has been hunting since the beginning of time, so it has to be done, because it's good for the deer population, it's good for the health of the deer also, because it does kind of wean out some of the ones that aren't healthy or older, and it keeps the herds healthy. So it's bow season, and it will be gun season soon. My son Zach, you know what, I'm probably going on for a long time today, sorry about that, is a hunter. My son Seth is not. He had tried to hunt a couple times, and he just didn't care for it. And some people aren't. He's such an animal lover. Don't tell him that he is, because he'll tell you he isn't, but he is an animal lover, and he doesn't care for hunting, and he'll fish a little bit. He'll fish somewhat, but that's not the same as hunting. And my son Zach, he turkey hunting and deer hunting and grouse hunting, and he does all of that manly man hunting type stuff. So it's kind of like everybody's getting ready, everybody's getting their hunting gear out, getting that all ready to go, because that will be in just a couple weeks, because it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving that our gun opener is. And there's different ones. There's bow and there's black powder, and I can't even keep track of all that stuff. So I kind of started my preparation of getting some of my stuff for Thanksgiving dinner, because the local store has like frozen corn and frozen green beans and all that stuff. So I'll start stocking up now, because I am not one, and I have learned my lesson from past years. Do not, if you want your sanity, go shopping the weekend before Thanksgiving for what you need for Thanksgiving. You will go insane. A lot of the stuff might be out. One year I couldn't find yams. I did find some eventually, but I couldn't find the yams that I wanted. And the stores are crazy, and I feel so bad for the clerks, because they're overwhelmed, and people get crabby, and they should be crabby. They're giving us a service, and we're lucky that they're working there for us, so don't be crabby at them. And if they take a little bit of time or they're new, give them some slack, I say. So I will be getting all my stuff. I'll be purchasing my turkey soon. I already have my ham, because we have ham and turkey, because there's a lot of us, and some people always have a little piece of turkey, but they don't care for the turkey, so they have ham. And all my stuff for my stuffing and all that stuff you can get ahead of time and just have it readily available and organized. I remember a story once. Yep, I'm gonna go down that road. My boys must have been probably 4 and 6 years old, way back in the day, and I had gone and got my pickles and olives and yams, and there's one other thing, and I got it ahead of time, put it in my pantry, or I either had it in cupboard, put it in the pantry, or one or the other. And the day or 2 days before, 2 days before the holiday, whatever, it was so long ago, I went to couldn't find them. I couldn't find these 3 or 4 or 5 items that I had purchased, and I knew I had. And then you think, oh my God, am I losing my mind? Did I get them, or did I think I got them and I didn't get them? And couldn't find them. Never turned up. Never got them. Went back a couple days before, repurchased and got them. And I just thought, Lord, where could they have possibly gone? I know we didn't eat them. I know we didn't use them because they were like yams and stuff. It's not like something that my husband would have ate or what, it was weird things like turkey onions and odd things like that. So I thought, where the heck could they have possibly gone? And I didn't find them. I didn't find them right before. Didn't find them during Thanksgiving. I did not find them immediately after. But I did eventually find them. My boys had a little, it was a Little Tikes tool workbench, and it had little doors, and it had a workbench area and a little workbench sink and all that. So they played workbench and worker, and they also used it to play kitchen and stuff too, Yep, that's where they went. My youngest son, Seth, because the workbench was in his room, had pilfered those things to store in the little cupboards in his little workbench for his little kitchen. So all these little miscellaneous things, I was cleaning his room, and it was probably several months after that. And I was cleaning his room and cleaning that and wiping that all down in here. I opened the little workbench cupboard doors, and there they are, all of the missing products for Thanksgiving that I didn't know where they were. So things eventually turn up. I tell you, I'm a loser of items that you wouldn't believe. It's because I remember working on my organization, but I throw things and put things in. If I would always put them right where they should go, or right where they're, but I stick things all over. My son, youngest son, does the same thing. We've been scurrying looking for stuff, and we found things in a Walmart bag or stuck here or there. He's getting better at it too, because he sees this pain and suffering that it causes when you misplace something, because it just drives you nuts and it's stressful. But I've misplaced many things, and they always usually turn up. My husband had lost his car keys right before a trip, and it wasn't for the vehicle we're taking, and we looked and looked and looked, and we didn't find them. And I think my son found them, and what had happened is right before we left, he decided to run back in the garage into the little garage refrigerator and grab a beverage to take with him, and had his keys, and he set them down on the carpet by the refrigerator. And we didn't go in that section of the garage or anything, and there they were. Months and months later, here they were, just laying on the floor by the refrigerator, in some odd spot. It wasn't like right next to it. It was in some odd spot, because I think he had set something up. So anyway, things can turn up all over the place. You know what a good turn up thing is? A good finding thing is? We were just talking about this at work the other day, is when you're changing out your purse or your jacket or your spring coat or stuff, and you're cleaning, and then you go in there and you find like a $20 bill or a $5 bill or even spare change. I don't care. It's kind of like a little treasure you found, even though it was yours from the season before, the last time you used your purse. You found it. So it's kind of nice to find stuff like that. It's always good to find lost stuff, and it usually turns up. Just like if you have something and you have a pair of something and you think, I best not throw out that one sock or glove or whatever, because yeah, it's going to turn up eventually. I will do that for one season and 1 year, and if it does not turn up, I bet you I threw out a bag of like 6 or 7 gloves or mittens, and if the other one shows up, then she's just gonna meet the match in the garbage too, because you got that. And I think your dryer eats your socks, because where do they go? They're not in the dryer, they're not in the lint thing, they're not in the tube, and they never show up again. Where do they go? It's a mystery. So everybody have a great week. Thanks for listening to me ramble and ramble on like I usually do. And I guess we will have coffee next Sunday, and then it'll be kind of like the countdown for Thanksgiving and stuff. And you gotta start thinking about shopping. And I have the day after Thanksgiving off this year. I just love it. A couple of years I haven't had that off, because I have quite a few family members that stay overnight for Thanksgiving. It's a bummer when you get up in the morning and everybody's sleeping in and you gotta go to work. I don't shop anymore. I don't do that. I don't have hardly any shopping to do anymore. I do whatever I need to do online. So get ready for Thanksgiving. Prepare ahead of time. Get your stuff you need. Everything you can ahead of time. It just saves you the stress. Being organized just saves you so much stress and irritation in your own head that it's best to do it and get ready ahead of time. So everybody have a great week. I will see you guys next Sunday it'll be our last Sunday, and we'll get back onto our Saturday morning rotation, and then it'll be the countdown for Thanksgiving. I just love it. So everybody take care. Have a lovely week until we have coffee again, and it will be in 1 week, not 2. I like that. And we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.